Hey everyone, great to have you back with us on another episode of English Listening Room.
This is the show where we help you sound sharper, calmer, and more natural every time you open your mouth in English.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Alisa. If you've ever started a sentence in English and then completely lost the thread halfway through, today's episode was made for you.
All right, Alisa, be real with me for a second. Has your mind ever just gone blank right in the middle of talking?
Constantly, especially back when I was still getting comfortable with English.
What happened in those moments?
My throat would tighten up, my thoughts would scatter everywhere, and I'd end up either trailing off or laughing nervously to cover it.
That feeling is so common, and today we're going to fix it together.
Because sounding smooth in English isn't about knowing every rule. It's about learning to trust your own voice, even when it's not perfect.
Exactly. Whether you're chatting with a friend, answering questions at work, or just trying to keep a conversation alive without freezing, we've got you. Before we get into today's main topic, let's grab our word of the day, the one word that instantly upgrades how you sound.
And today's pick is a really strong one for fluency: coherent.
I like that word a lot.
Coherent is an adjective, and it describes ideas or speech that are logical, connected, and easy to follow.
And there's a related noun too, coherence, which means the quality of things fitting together smoothly.
Let's hear it used properly.
As an adjective, even though she was nervous, her explanation stayed coherent from start to finish.
And in the noun form, the report lacked coherence because the ideas jumped around too much.
So if you want people to actually follow what you're saying, coherence matters way more than fancy vocabulary.
Totally agree. And that's basically today's whole theme: sounding clear, connected, and confident, without those long, awkward gaps. Let's start where most of the trouble actually begins, inside our own heads.
The fear of getting it wrong.
That fear is sneaky. It convinces you that every sentence has to come out flawless, or else people will judge you.
I know that feeling well. I used to rehearse a sentence 3 or 4 times silently before saying it out loud.
And by the time you're ready, the conversation has already moved on.
Exactly. It's like standing at the edge of a pool, waiting for the water to feel perfectly warm before jumping in.
It never will. You just have to jump, and your body adjusts once you're in.
The same goes for speaking. The rhythm only shows up once you actually start talking.
Here's something freeing to remember. Most listeners aren't grading your grammar. They just want to understand your point.
So the goal isn't a perfect sentence. It's a clear message.
Right. Say it imperfectly if you have to. You can always clean it up as you go.
Even something like, "Yesterday I go to market and buy vegetable," still communicates the idea clearly enough.
Exactly. The listener gets it, and that's really what matters in the moment.
Now, here's a trick that even fluent native speakers rely on constantly. Connector words.
Words like basically, honestly, anyway. You see? They seem small, but they act like stepping stones between your ideas.
I remember watching an interview once where the guest used these constantly, and it never sounded messy. It sounded relaxed.
That's the trick. They give your brain a tiny break to organize the next idea without creating dead silence.
Here's a suggestion. Choose 2 or 3 connectors you actually like and start weaving them naturally into your daily speech.
For example, honestly, I hadn't considered that before. Or, anyway, let me explain what I mean.
It instantly makes your speech feel more human and less robotic.
Just don't overdo it, though. Too many connectors, and it starts to feel cluttered.
Think of them like spices in cooking. A little enhances the dish. Too much ruins it.
Next big pause creator: mentally translating from your first language before you speak.
Oh, I did this for years. I'd build the whole sentence in my native language first, then flip it into English word by word.
And that process is slow. And honestly, it often produces awkward sentence structures.
Completely agree. The two languages just don't line up the same way.
Here's a comparison I really like. It's like trying to plug a European charger into an American socket. It might sort of work with an adapter, but it's clunky.
The better solution is training your brain to link ideas straight to English, skipping the translation step entirely.
So instead of picturing your native word for rain and then converting it, you just look outside and think rain directly.
A simple daily habit for this: narrate small things around you in English. The window is open. This tea is too hot. My phone is buzzing.
Small, constant practice like that quietly rewires your brain for direct English thinking.
Once your mind is thinking in English, the next issue is often not having the right words ready.
This isn't about knowing thousands of random words. It's about knowing the ones you actually need.
When I started learning French, I knew words like castle and volcano, but couldn't describe my own job.
That mismatch makes real conversations frustrating fast.
What you really need is what we'd call everyday functional vocabulary. Words tied to your actual routine, work, hobbies, and relationships.
Here's a useful exercise. List the 10 topics you talk about most often. Then build your vocabulary specifically around those.
That way, when a real conversation happens, the right words are already sitting there, ready to use.
It's like packing a travel bag with only what you'll actually wear, instead of everything in your closet.
Now, once you have the words, they need somewhere to live besides your notebook.
They need your voice.
One habit that helped me enormously was simply talking to myself while doing everyday tasks.
Describing your actions as you cook, clean, or get ready in the morning.
It sounds silly, but it removes all the pressure. There's no one there to judge a mistake.
And it trains your mouth and your brain to move together smoothly, without needing a partner nearby.
For faster improvement, record a short clip of yourself speaking, then listen back later.
It feels strange at first, but it's incredibly useful. You'll notice patterns you'd never catch otherwise.
It's basically free personal coaching.
Here's another method that quietly transforms fluency: mimicking.
Oh, this one made a huge difference for me.
You take a short clip, maybe 30 seconds, and repeat exactly what the speaker says, matching their rhythm and tone.
It's not just copying words. You're training your ear and your mouth to move in sync with natural English patterns.
I used to mimic short scenes from interviews. At first, it felt impossible to keep up.
But with repetition, the sentence patterns start to feel familiar, almost automatic.
That's the real benefit. Once a pattern feels automatic, you don't have to build the sentence from zero every time you speak.
A little bit daily goes a long way here.
Let's end on something people often overlook completely: breathing.
When we rush, we don't just speak faster. We scramble our own thoughts in the process.
And that scrambling is exactly what leads to more pauses, not fewer.
I used to believe speed equaled skill. In reality, it just produced choppy, breathless sentences.
The better approach is slowing down and allowing yourself a real pause when needed.
A short pause to breathe actually makes you sound composed, not weak.
Try this before a big conversation. Breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4, then release slowly.
It settles your nerves and gives your mind space to think clearly.
Fluency isn't a race. It's closer to walking steadily than sprinting.
Let's try something interactive before we wrap up.
I'll toss you a question, and you answer right away. No overthinking allowed.
Sounds fun. Go ahead.
First one. What's a small habit that makes your day better?
Nice. Here's another. Describe your ideal weekend in 3 sentences.
And one more. If you could learn any new skill instantly, what would it be and why?
See how that feels? The goal isn't a perfect answer. It's just keeping the words moving without freezing up.
Exactly. Every time you push through a pause instead of stopping completely, that skill gets a little stronger.
And the more you practice this way, even alone in your room, the more natural it becomes in real conversations.
Small, consistent reps beat occasional long study sessions every time.
What a rich conversation. I hope you're leaving with real tools to speak more smoothly and confidently.
We covered mindset, connectors, thinking directly in English, personal vocabulary, talking to yourself, mimicking speakers, and finally, breathing and pacing.
And now, let's hand things over for today's vocabulary recap. Here are 12 useful words and phrases from today's episode.
Hesitate. To pause briefly because of uncertainty. Example: she hesitated before answering the tricky question. Genuine. Real and sincere, not fake. Example: his apology sounded completely genuine. Practical. Useful and suited for real situations. Example: this advice is practical, not just theoretical. Align. To match up or come into agreement. Example: their movements began to align perfectly during rehearsal. Absorb. To take in and fully understand something. Example: she slowly absorbed the new vocabulary through daily practice. Interrupt. To break into an action or speech. Example: the phone call interrupted our meeting unexpectedly. Composed. Calm and in control, especially under pressure. Example: he stayed composed even during the difficult questions. Applicable. Suitable or relevant to a particular situation. Example: that rule isn't really applicable here. Accuracy. The state of being correct and exact. Example: the translator worked with great accuracy. Adjust. To make small changes to improve something. Example: she slowly adjusted her plan after getting new feedback. Settle. To become calm or to reach a stable state. Example: he took a breath to settle his nerves before the interview.
That's a wrap for today's episode.
Thanks so much for spending this time with us. Try using today's tips in even one short conversation this week.
Keep it simple, keep it real, and don't fear the pause.
Keep learning.
Keep speaking.
And we'll catch you in the next episode of English Listening Room. Bye for now.